This is Stephanie.
And this is Joseph.
And welcome back.
Yep.
We always start that way.
And me saying yep. Yeah, I think so. So, talked about Halloween last week. We're doing good. We're gonna. This is what, third week in a row.
Yes.
We're doing this.
We got it.
Yeah. But so Halloween is over with, and we are still hanging out at the fort. We're staying till the fort for another I think it's 10 days. Yeah, around. We have it until the 10th. So 1st of November.
You know what that means?
Christmas.
Christmas is starting now.
Yeah. So yeah, I wonder like what's more of a big like wake up call? Not wake up call, but like such a change. I think it's a pretty drastic change from all the build up from Halloween, and especially being into the month because October is all about Halloween, and then as soon as Halloween's over with, it's November, and like everything just changes because it feels like you have to switch gears and go straight into Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Because with Christmas, like on the 25th, you still have kind of like Christmas hangover. You kind of still have your toys, you know, you're still you're still kind of doing your Christmas thing up until New Year's because you're still in the holidays. But it seems pretty drastic. You going from all the things from Halloween, and as soon as Halloween's over with, you just gotta put everything up and then start
Christmas.
Yeah. Thanksgiving doesn't count, so
no. Because at Disney,
it's a joke. Thanksgiving counts, but it's a family joke because Andrew's birthday is
a lot of times it's on Thanksgiving. It's
happened a couple times, but
it's been several times.
His birthday's been on the Thanksgiving's been on the 22nd.
Yeah.
All right, I'll look that up. But
anyways, so yeah, that but at Disney, we're at Disney, and Disney starts their Christmas parties at the 1st of November, so they go into full Christmas mode after Halloween. I think this year there might have been one Halloween party November 1st, it seems, which is weird, right? I think they had one more Halloween party.
Yeah, it went into November. Yeah.
So, but after their Halloween parties, Halloween disappears. Like overnight, everything Halloween is gone. And then usually Christmas starts pretty close after that. So yeah, I know that I'm not sure what we did on the 1st. It looks like, by the looks of it, it was just like a normal day. Probably school. I might have gave him a little bit of break because, we was up so late on Halloween and stuff like that. But it looked like the boys went fishing. Our skeleton got rearranged again, because they're still, we kept our Halloween decorations out. So that was, that was just one of the things that it's back to life, back to normal.
Yeah, and Halloween was on a weekday, and I'm trying to think that following weekend if anybody, I think there was some trick-or-treating.
Yeah, there was. And we kept candy out. Because I don't even think we went through all the candy we bought for Halloween. Because we're not there handing out candy for Halloween. So.
Yeah, we talked about it before. Like, we were there for a good amount of time after Halloween. But the year before, I think we left shortly after. And we didn't want the candy. So we put it out on the side when we left. And somebody was trying to chase us down.
Saying we left our candy.
Like,
no. We don't want it.
Yeah, saying, nope, that was intentional.
We just want someone to come and get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were, life went back to normal. Fishing. That's what Andrew did a lot of.
Yeah. So. Andrew and Henry.
Yeah, Andrew and Henry.
Yeah.
And he would take the kids every now and then. They also, I think at one point, Andrew made a special trip to Magic Kingdom to play that pirate game or whatever.
Again, Henry too.
Henry too, yes. Andrew and Henry. What is it called? Pirate.
I don't know. Probably the treasure hunt or something like that, I would think.
But it's you have your Magic Band or your app and you scan in and they give you a map, and then you go through the different parts in Adventureland and things pop up, like a snake or something comes out of the water. A Pirate's Adventure,
Possibly.
Treasures of the Seven Seas. And you'd use this treasure map to go to different places. And they did that. I don't think they did the whole thing, but they did a little bit of it.
Yeah. But that was just the two boys doing it.
Yeah, that's just the two boys.
But then when they got back, they wanted to take
the little ones. Yeah. So I think that's another reason why they probably didn't do it all, is because they wanted to, have Graham and Juliet do this with them.
I don't know for a fact, but I kind of remember the parks being pretty busy.
They
right?
were.
Yeah.
I remember they were really busy. Of course, let's see. There was a marathon weekend was some time during that point. So I don't know. And when there's a marathon weekend, it's pretty busy.
Yeah.
So.
So.
But yeah, there's a marathon weekend. I'm not quite sure if it was, because this year the marathon is like the day of Halloween and the day after or something like that. So whatever, it's usually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah. So yeah, it definitely gets busy, especially. I guess all the parks get busy, but I really think Magic Kingdom's pretty bad during then. So yeah, they did that on the 2nd. I don't know if we went to a park ourselves that day.
No.
First picture I have is the Christmas tree showed up on November 3rd.
Yeah.
At least by November 3rd.
Yeah, but
Magic Kingdom.
It was probably, it might have been there before, and that's also the time. I think that same day we also went the monorail. We spent time at Magic Kingdom road rides, and but we also went on the monorail loop to look at the gingerbread houses too, because there was a few gingerbread houses. Because every year the Grand Floridian and the Contemporary have gingerbread houses. The Grand Floridian's gingerbread house is just like crazy big.
So Grand Floridians, they actually sell like gingerbread shingles and things like that from inside the gingerbread house.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how big it is. And Contemporaries is just like it's like flat, right? Usually. It seems like it's flat. And they'll sell like hot chocolate and stuff. But yeah, it's not as impressive as the Grand Floridians.
Yeah. Does like the Epcot resorts, do they do it as
well?
well?
Beach Club, yeah. And those are pretty impressive. It's not like the Grand, like as big as the Grand Floridians, but it's like, it's still pretty nice.
So kind of doing our things, going to the parks. Apparently the boys actually
went into a park.
Yeah, actually rode rides, which is rare for them. They rode Astro Orbiter on the 3rd. Still more fishing. We just kind of did our thing at the fort. And then we turned in our golf cart, so we just was either hanging out at the fort or going to the parks.
Yeah. I do remember at one point we did go see the other gingerbread houses. Of course, I'm really not quite sure when they was ready. It might have been after this little stint that we've stayed here. There was an incident with, remember that the ball that Graham found? Graham found like this huge ball.
It's not an incident, but I know what you're saying.
And I mean, it was just there, nobody was around. So
I'll tell the backstory. The ball were like at the playground.
Yes,
playground?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's what I was saying. It was just there, like nobody was around when he found it, and like he had it for a couple of days, didn't he? Or at least a day.
Maybe a day, yeah.
And then like one time he took it back to the playground, and then this little kid's like, "That's my ball." Like he wasn't too happy at the fact that Graham had a ball that he found.
Well, I think he was like saying like, "Hey, Mom, there's my ball," or something like that. It was like because it involved the parents and like, "Oh, just grab it," or something like that.
Because it was the dad was like, "Oh, we have plenty," because they used it to decorate their golf cart.
Yeah, and they still had plenty on their golf cart.
Yeah, there was like their golf cart was loaded with them, but the mom's like, "Okay, come bring it to me," and the dad was like, "No, it doesn't matter." But I mean, Graham just kind of just let it go, which he's very good about like.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
He's not one of those that.
He didn't get upset or anything like that.
No,
so.
It was just like a fact of life.
Yeah. But yeah, so just living our life, going to the parks, doing school.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're here till the 10th, so nothing really big happened besides that. I mean, saw a bunch of wildlife, squirrels, snakes, fish. I guess, did you catch like a small gar?
I think you
Yeah, it
did.
looks like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is this when they caught the snake too?
Oh yeah, there's a snake there as well. So
Yeah. They at one point they caught a snake because they did a lot of night fishing. So yeah, that's and before we left, I know that I don't know if it's quite a bit before it was we was trying to get rid of the skeleton. So like we just I could just put it out there like there's the scavenger hunt that
the
there's
big
this,
one, we still have the small
yeah, we
one.
still have the small one, the big one, that there's a skeleton, and
It,
so
it got taken pretty quickly.
it did. Like they can't. Of course, anything you post on that scavenger hunt, that it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
And like I saw it driving away on the back of a cart, and the boys were like, "I saw it," and they gave him a name like Steve or something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But but it's like you just want to. I mean, someone gave it to us, so just hand it off to somebody else. But yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, we're there another 10 days or 9 days after Halloween, but just kind of did our things, went to parks, fishing, things like that. So.
And the good thing is, I do remember that a little bit after Halloween, Juju's friend, that whole family there, left. Do you remember, like, that girl who just kept on coming over?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it was right after Halloween, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that was a relief to us. I don't know if we said anything about it.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's just,
but,
Juliet's, will be friends with anybody, and some friends that she plays with, some of them are a little bit overbearing, and so yeah, so it's one of those. It's like if you stay at a campground very long, if you don't like your neighbors, if you're staying there a while, they're gonna move on. So you get different neighbors, and it's gonna be temporary. So that was one of those situations.
Yeah, because she was one of those girls that was like, she would invite herself over, just randomly show up, and it's like Julia can't play right now, but so she would just make herself at home in the seats, and
Yeah.
it was just one of those things. So was kind of glad. The mother was very similar too.
Yeah. So we were there till the 10th, and then we packed up. What our plan is we want to see. We like the beach. I mean, that's one of the things. We love Disney. We love the beach as well. We want to spend some time at the beach. It's not really snowbird season. I guess it's getting close to it, but we want to experience it before it got really busy. So we have 1,000 Trails, so we planned on going to the Gulf side of Florida. Royal Coachman is where our destination was, but I think I couldn't get reservations until a certain day. So I found another 1,000 Trails, which were members, called Peace River. So we're going to stay at Peace River for 3 nights. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it was just like was it over the weekend? It was over the weekend.
Yeah, because we couldn't get to Royal Coachman until the next week. And I think we stayed 4 or 5 days there. So we booked Peace River. And so we packed up, left Fort Wilderness, and drove down there. You have to drive I-4. I guess we drove. Yeah, I'm sure we drove I-4 down. Yeah, and it wasn't too far. It's probably like a little bit over an hour, maybe closer to 2. But we got to Peace River, and we arrived there, and at first it seemed like it was going to be easy because I went and checked in, and they're like, okay, here's the map. You can pick any of these sites that's not marked out. You can pick whatever's available. And I was like, okay, that'll be easy. So I got to the car, gave you the map, and we're like, all right, let's go find a place.
And didn't they say something about like are the ones that have reserved on it?
That's what I said. There's a map that has. Actually
on the post.
Oh yeah, because they'll put tags of when they're supposed to arrive and when they're supposed to leave. So anyway, I was in the registration place along with another guy. So we got the spiel from at the same time. So we both got in our vehicles and started venturing out. There wasn't a lot of shade. There's some overhanging trees, and most sites were close to each other, and it was like a dirt / sand road, wasn't
Yes.
it? It wasn't paved.
No.
Most sites weren't even, so we found it was difficult to find a site because they said only a few was reserved, and then you just had to look and see what else is reserved. But they pretty much just sent you out to try to find a spot, and they had probably, I'd say, over 100 sites spread out. So we went row to row trying to find a spot
that wasn't reserved.
So instead of driving down each lane, we get out of the car and kind of walk. We walked around trying to find a spot, and this happened to be one of the I think they said record heat because it was really hot that day.
Yeah, I remember it was hot.
Yeah,
it was really hot.
Really hot. So we were trying to find a site. We found a site, and I think we backed into that site, right?
Yeah, we started to back into it.
No, I think we did back into it because we were hooking up electric.
Yeah.
So we backed in. I put in our surge protector, flipped on the breaker, and I was only getting I wasn't getting. You're supposed to get 3 green lights if the circuit is the way it should be and the site is grounded, and I was only getting 1 or 2 lights.
And like someone who just pulled in before us, that was several over. They was like, yeah, we couldn't get any, like this one and this one and this one. We couldn't get any. Couldn't get electricity from them.
Yeah, somebody was already set up there.
Yeah. And so there was and that would have been fine where that was, but there wasn't a power or something was something was wrong with it. So.
Yeah. And I remember us trying to deal in the heat, trying to get electric to work at that one site, and the other person was, checking in at the same time, pulled up right next to us, and I was like, he was asking or he was trying to get in because remember there was, I don't know if it's supposed to be a 2-lane road, but I kind of remember one camper going one way, one camper going another.
Yeah, because they're just driving around trying to look for sites. So
they went to that other site. And I told them it wasn't working right, but I think the way they were set up, they only need 30 amp out of the 50, so they managed for whatever reason. And we could have done that, but it was so hot I didn't want to, and I figured there'd be other sites available. So we didn't unpack, but we got back in the vehicle and then we went. Oh, I called, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I called and it's like, hey, this site isn't working. Is there other sites? And I told them if we found a site, or maybe we just drove around and we found another site that it had a reservation, but the reservation started after we were going to leave.
Yeah, like the Wednesday after we was going to leave, wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. It's like if they're reserved that far out, then why would you be like you can't be there?
It was really badly managed and. It seemed like the person they had at check-in didn't know anything, and looking at the Google reviews, that's the thing is it's like where the campground is. It is where it is. It's inland in Florida, not many trees. But if you're a Thousand Trails member, then you can stay there as part of your membership, not have to actually pay a nightly fee. But it just badly managed.
So we found that site and we backed into it, and the neighbors were like, that site's reserved. It was like, we've talked to them, they know we're here, we're gonna leave before they get here, but they still seem to have a problem with it.
Yeah, they didn't like it.
And that there was like, well, if that's what they said, but there's people gonna be coming here, and I'm like, at this, it's like we're gonna leave before they get here.
And they were trying to talk us into going across the road or something.
Yes, and it was
rooted and hilly. It wasn't level by any means.
It was it was almost straight up to actually get up on the site, back into it. And I don't even know, it'd been really hard for us to fit there because it wasn't that long of a site.
Is that our first Thousand Trails, I guess?
Well, yeah.
Encore's not Thousand Trails.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It is.
That was our first experience with Thousand Trails. So
and
we have the membership. I hope to use it more. Just that first experience wasn't good. We love Encore. Tropical Palms is part of Encore, and then our next stop at Royal Coachman's Encore. We like there as well.
Yeah.
But we finally found the site. Well, we took a site.
Yes, we do. It was just like, this is where we're gonna be.
Yeah. So we're set up for the weekend until I think we leave Monday. But yeah, we got set up. I don't think we went anything that day, and then the next day we went to. I don't know.
It was Anna Marie Island, was it?
Yeah,
not?
it's Anna Marie. I don't know if that was.
It was.
I guess that was a Saturday. Yeah, I guess that's when that
Yeah,
was.
it was on a Saturday, so it was
Okay.
busy, but it was like
Yeah,
it was.
That's really nice. Like
It's really nice.
no. Really? I don't
That's
know.
Anna Marie Island.
I didn't
Yeah.
think Anna Marie Island we had swim stuff. I thought Anna Marie Island was the one we just walked around.
No, we went to the beach and then we walked around.
So we went back. Is that what you're saying?
We went to the beach and then we changed at the beach back into our
Okay.
clothes, and then we went to like the pier and then
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Okay. But yeah, it was like I said, it's a hot day, but it was really like the water's really blue.
And clear.
Like it kind of reminds you of like the Bahamas the way it
yeah,
looks. So
yeah, that's how I would describe
the
it.
sand is pretty nice. It's really powdery. It's not as white as Siesta Key, but it was nice as well. I don't remember. I guess it was a shorter beach. It's definitely not like Siesta Key.
Oh no.
So
yeah,
it's
was
more like a
shorter.
typical beach, but it seems like with the Atlantic side, you see a lot more sand dunes to protect the island.
Yeah.
But this one, it seems like we parked and then it was just like the beach. I don't remember having to walk a lot because
No.
most beaches we've been to in the
Atlantic, you
have to meander through the dunes to get to the beach.
yeah. But
But-
yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, you would think more hurricanes would strike from the Atlantic, but I mean, I'm sure it happens there as well. But
we parked. It was free parking because it was just like a public beach, and they had free parking with it and everything. But yeah, it was nice. Like it was gorgeous there.
yeah, the beach is really nice. It is crowded, and I think golf carts are really popular there to get around. It's probably, and I think they don't have a lot of hotels. I think they're more like Airbnb, vacation homes kind of situation. It's not like a Destin. It's not very commercial. It's more laid back and more like St. George
Yeah,
Island.
St. George. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this was one time like Andrew was like, "Did you bring our goggles?" Because the water was so clear that you could actually use goggles in there and be able to see. Like there were fish swimming, and it was really nice. It was. But we changed there. They had little places to change, and then I think we just went to explore the beach because they have like a pier and stuff. So we walked the pier. It took a little bit to actually find parking though, because like there was, I don't know if there's actually parking spots. You just kind of parked on the street.
Yeah, I don't remember where we parked exactly. Saying, I think across the road it said no parking. We didn't park in a no parking zone, but
No.
it was kind of maybe a gray area if you're supposed to park there.
Yeah.
So.
Because I think there was other people parking there, so we just kind of, because I mean that's pretty much the only place. They had a few, I think, parking spots by the pier, but with how big, because it's just like probably sand, like just parking and the road's right behind you, one of those type things. So, but we found parking eventually, and we walked down to the beach, or not the beach, the pier, and they had like a little restaurant at the pier and like a little educational center, and
Yeah.
it was really pretty. It was really pretty.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a place that I don't think there's any RV resorts there.
No, I wouldn't think so.
But that would be like, I guess if we just wanted to do an Airbnb, that'd be a nice one.
Yeah, or I'm sure maybe either up the coast or south, below you can probably
Yeah, that's
camp
true.
there and then go there. But yeah, it probably would be nice just to see like the nightlife, see, walk around in the evening and stuff. And we just got a taste of it. We've heard that Anna Marie Island's nice. So,
Yeah,
which it was.
It was.
So, so we did that on Saturday and then we left on Monday.
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
we drove. Peace River is inland, so we drove the rest of the way to the Gulf Coast. We're going to stay at Royal Coachman for 4 nights, I believe.
And after our experience with this one, we read reviews of Royal Coachmen, and like they was talking about how hard it is to maneuver and get into and stuff like that. And so I think was kind of nervous about that.
Yeah, I think we had anxiety, especially where we came from, and you know, we get in our comfort zones. We've done the fort so many times, and we know what to expect with that tropical palms. So anytime we could do something new, even if it's like a local campground we've never been to, there's always that anxiety going into to pulling in. Like I'm usually the most anxious right before we arrive to our destination. Like driving down the interstate, even I-4, I'm fine. Just my anxiety level gets a little bit higher when I know I'm going to have to find the street the campground's on, and then check in, and then try to back into a site.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But I mean, it wasn't too bad. We knew what site was supposed to have, so we was already kind of doing research on it.
Yeah.
So trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But we ended up not having that site, so. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I had to sneeze. I broke it up then.
But yeah. So what was did they call us beforehand, or did we?
No, that's when we're checking.
Okay, just checking in.
So I was inside, and they're like, "You're supposed to be in this site," but they had electrical issues, so they put us in another site.
Okay.
And the original site we were supposed to have would have been a little bit more difficult to get into. So the way Royal Coachman is they have the sites in a circle.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They have the campsites in a circle, and then they have more kind of down rows and squared off is their houses, their
cottages.
Cottages, yeah. So we were going to be in the inner side of the circle, and then they put us into the middle.
It was more in the middle. Yeah. And in the middle of those circles is just like the laundry, the community hall, like showers or whatnot.
Yeah.
But and the campsites are made of shells. Like the ground was shells.
Yeah.
And the way that when we backed in, of course, there wasn't anybody across from us, so it wasn't a hard back in. It wasn't too bad at all.
Yeah. I think it'd been difficult if there was somebody in that campsite. And we watched a few other ones kind of struggle to get in.
Yeah.
After us.
Yeah. One of them, didn't they come in like in a different way, and so they had to like really turn and make it,
It seemed like they were new to the game too, like haven't been RVing for a while. It seemed like that's what I took from it.
Okay, that might be it, because it was why it was like, oh, they're going the wrong directions. Because if you went one way and you saw that a campsite was pointing in the other, you would think you would, somehow go back in the other direction.
Was it Coleman?
I don't know.
I always think if you're a newbie to camping, you buy a Coleman or a Pioneer or just a cheap one because you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, Wildwood.
Yeah.
But maybe some of those are good, but I don't know. I haven't been impressed by any that I've seen. But
yeah, and what else was it? The electrical pedestals there was like 4 of them together or 3 of them together, and like everybody was backed in to like the same spot. Not the same spot, but like the same.
Like your tail, the back of your camper kind of comes to a point too. Yeah.
So that kind of allows you for a little bit of privacy, a little bit more spacing, I guess.
Yeah, I think we had a nice site, and we mainly came to go to the beach, so we did that.
And it rained. There was a lot of rain.
Yeah, the weather wasn't the greatest.
I think we would go to the beach when we could.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of rain. And do you know the name of the beach that we went to when we was there?
I could probably look it up. I'm not sure.
It's Nick. I don't know.
I probably can't pronounce it either. So.
I know. But it was a shelly beach.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shells.
Yeah, it's one of the more shelly beaches we've ever been to.
Like you definitely need like.
Okay, so that jetty, it was north of the jetty one. No Comus.
Nokomis?
I probably butchered it, but yeah, there's a public beach that was like 4 to 6 minutes away from our campsite. So we did that first 2 days, right?
Yeah. And we saw dolphins. Like we saw dolphins all the time, didn't we? When we'd go there, like right up against the shore. Like I think we have some videos, and the kids would run with the dolphins along the shore, and it was nice. It was shelly, so it kind of rough on your feet, But I mean,
Yeah, and I mean,
it wasn't that busy,
yeah,
and
it was nice. And like you said, the weather wasn't great, so we didn't venture off too far to go to a beach. And
no.
what we really want to do is, because we always go to Cocoa Beach, is we usually have to drive an hour and 20 minutes to the beach. Spend a day at the beach, drive an hour and 20. And so our goal was to be able to be close to, so we can just bounce back and forth.
And the good thing about this campground is it had a dock to the bay, and so the boys got to saltwater fish.
A jetty?
I thought it was a bay. I thought it was on a bay.
Oh, where our campsite?
Yeah,
campground.
yeah, that's
okay.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So they was able to saltwater fish while
Yeah.
we was at that campground, because they had like a little pier or something off, and it's like, this is our land. You can.
Yes, it's private land, so yeah.
So yeah, they were able to saltwater fish, and they really enjoyed it. I don't think they actually caught much, but they, it was the experience.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we spent a good amount of time at the beach.
Yeah, we had a good time. And then I remember, like you said, the weather wasn't great. I remember some storms and some pretty cool sunsets because of, just the way the storms came through, and that evening it being nice. So we did that for a few days, and then I think the day before we were headed back to Fort Wilderness, we went up the coast, up north to Siesta Key.
Yeah, and it was about the best day all week that the weather wise.
I'm pretty sure it was a Saturday because I remember Tennessee playing that day.
Yeah, I think it was a Saturday.
So we got up early, we went to it, and when we arrived, if you've never been to Siesta Key, which we haven't, it's a really, really long beach. Like, there's so much beach, it's crazy how much you have to walk.
And the thing is, it's like I read about it and saying it's a long beach, but I thought it meant like long along the coastline, not long like from the water to where there's no beach.
Yeah.
Like, that was a trek. And it wasn't like firm sand. It was really, really soft sand, and it was really, really white.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really white. So the good thing is, I don't being that white, it wasn't like burning your feet walking on it.
No.
Yeah.
It was like the sun. I mean, like we're in November, but like the sun was strong, and it was warm.
Do you remember that little river that was running through?
Yes,
The
I
kids
remember that.
played, yeah.
There was like I guess from low tide to high tide, there was like a little river, and the boys would play. The two kids would play in it.
Two little ones,
yeah. But yeah, it was very, very white. Like, it's known for, I think it's white beaches. It's white sand.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
this was the time that the boy, like Andrew was he recording?
oh, so you was talking about the wildlife, like the dolphins and stuff. Like, there must have been a group, a school of fish out there, because dolphins were out there. A ton of seagulls were attacking this area, and the boys had the bright idea. They decided to go out there and record in that chaos.
In the middle of it, and I was so worried. I was so nervous. Like, I was always trying to keep an eye out, because like they were in the middle of all the seagulls. And Andrew had already, like, he almost stepped on a stingray, or he almost grabbed one because he thought it was a stick or something under the water. So, like, there was a ton of wildlife out there.
And there was dolphins, right? Wasn't
there was dolphins.
So I've always heard that where there's dolphins, there's not sharks, but I don't know if that's a fact or not.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, but it was a really nice day. I think if we knew Siesta Key was going to be that nice, I think we would probably went there another day besides just that one day.
Yeah. And also, Henry has the worst luck with food and wildlife.
Yeah.
Because, the seagulls, they were really bad. Like, if they saw someone eating, they would go after you.
Yeah. So you had to hide your food, hide your sandwich.
So I think while the kids were eating, I was like over them to keep the seagulls away from them.
Yeah.
And like when I was eating, it was, kind of undercover, because we saw them already attacking people trying to get food.
Yeah.
Well, Henry gets his sandwich, and he's like eating it, and here comes a seagull and takes like the top part of it from his, like, as he was going to his mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, he just doesn't have luck with wildlife.
No, he doesn't. From when he was a kid to that goat, and there's a chicken and the squirrel, and now a seagull.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
But
They all take his food.
yeah, well, we're way over on this one. So yeah, we took a break from Disney, went out to the beach, and enjoyed that for a week, and I think we're about to head back to Disney, head back to Fort Wilderness to celebrate Andrew's birthday before we head back home.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And celebrate Thanksgiving too.
Oh yeah, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you for listening to 4 Kids, 2 Dogs, 1 RV.
Bye.
Bye-bye.